All right, let's talk about Google Antigravity. If you've been using it, you've probably had that moment of shock wondering, where on earth did all my tokens go? Well, today, we're going to crack that code. We're going to uncover the hidden reasons your usage limits seem to vanish into thin air.
Does this screen look a little too familiar? That dreaded usage limit reached warning that pops up way sooner than you expected? It's so frustrating, right? It just stops your entire workflow cold. But trust me, you are not alone. And the real reason this happens is actually more interesting than you might think.
So, what is really eating up all those tokens? Let's pull back the curtain and look at the invisible stuff that's draining your quota behind the scenes. Okay, first things first, a super quick refresh. What even is a token? It's just the basic building block for the AI. You can think of it like a word, or sometimes just a piece of a word. A good rule of thumb is that about 4 characters equals 1 token. Simple, right? Well, the story doesn't quite end there.
Now, here's the secret. Most of us think the token cost is just, the words we type in and the words the AI spits out. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. The real cost, the heavy lifting, is all happening where you can't see it.
This right here is the big one. Antigravity's internal thinking process. When you give it a complicated task, the AI doesn't just know the answer. Nope. It has to plan out its approach, it has to select the right tools for the job, it checks for errors, and then it finally generates the response. And guess what? Every single one of those internal steps costs a ton of tokens. Okay, so that sounds a bit intimidating, but the good news is you can absolutely fight back. You can start saving tokens right this second. Let's dive into our first strategy.
This is hands down the quickest fix. So let's say you hit your weekly limit on Claude Sonnet. You're not stuck. Antigravity is amazing because it gives you access to several different AI agents, and their usage quotas are completely separate from each other.
And this table just makes it crystal clear. As you can see, the quota for Google's Gemini is its own thing. Same for Anthropic's Claude, and same for the GPT-OSS model. They each have their own bucket of tokens. So if your Claude bucket runs dry for the week, just switch over to Gemini and keep right on working. It's an absolute game changer.
Okay, our second strategy gets right at the heart of that hidden thinking process we just talked about. The goal here is really simple. Make the AI's job easier so it doesn't have to think so hard. Just look at this comparison. The prompt on the left is a monster. It's asking the AI to juggle like 4 different tasks at once. That forces it to do a whole lot of that expensive internal planning. But now look at the right. We took that exact same goal and broke it into 3 simple step-by-step prompts. Each one is a tiny, easy job for the AI, which means that hidden token cost goes way down.
Now, these first 2 fixes are fantastic. They'll make a huge difference. But what if you're a heavy user who's just constantly pushing the limits? Well, that brings us to the more permanent, long-term solution.
And here it is, straight from the source. For anyone who needs to operate without these tight restrictions, the ultimate answer is to upgrade to a paid Google AI plan. It's pretty straightforward. This will give you much higher usage limits across the board and really let you tap into the platform's full power. So there you have it. By understanding the hidden costs, switching up your agents, and just simplifying your prompts, you can totally take back control of your token usage. The power is back in your hands. So now that you're a token master, what amazing thing are you going to build with Antigravity?